All right, think about this for a second. Have you ever sold an old phone or maybe donated a computer? You probably did the right thing. You wiped your photos, your documents, and you thought, okay, job done. But what if I told you that data was still there, just kind of hanging out, waiting for someone to find it? Well, that's the scary little secret we're going to dig into today. So let's just get right to it. Do you think your deleted files are really gone? Like gone forever? I'll bet for most of us, the answer is probably not. And that simple, totally understandable misunderstanding, it's the starting point for countless data breaches and some pretty serious privacy nightmares. Okay, here's a great way to think about it. Deleting a file isn't like shredding a piece of paper. It's more like tearing a page out of a book's table of contents. See, the chapter itself, all the actual words and pages, is still sitting right there in the book. It's just that the guide to finding it is gone. That data is totally intact, completely recoverable, until, and only until, some new data happens to get written over that exact same spot. And this leftover data, this data ghost, as we'll call it, can be a real problem. For you and me, it's a huge privacy risk. But for businesses, for government agencies, oh man, it's a direct line to catastrophic data breaches, failing compliance audits, and just a total loss of public trust.
So yeah, we have this massive, widespread issue, the data ghost problem. But here's the good news. This is a solved problem. There's literally an official playbook for making sure that when you delete your data, it is gone for good.
And that official solution comes from the U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology. You'll hear them called NIST. These are the folks who set the gold standard for everything from atomic clocks to, you guessed it, cybersecurity. And they've put together the definitive guide on how to properly sanitize digital media. Now, NIST has a specific name for this whole process. It's not just wiping or erasing. It's called Media Sanitization. And the definition is everything. Let's look at this definition because the wording here is super important. It says the process makes accessing data infeasible for a given level of effort. That's a really practical way of looking at it, right? It's not saying it's impossible forever and ever. It's acknowledging that, hey, with a quantum supercomputer from the year 3000, maybe anything's possible. But the whole point is to make recovery so ridiculously hard and expensive with today's best technology that for all practical purposes, it's just not going to happen. So how do we actually do this? Well, NIST breaks it all down into 3 clear methods, each with a different level of security: clear, purge, and destroy. All right, let's break these down. First up, you've got clear. Think of this as a logical overwrite, basically software writing a bunch of ones and zeros over your old data. It's fine for low-risk stuff on a device that's, say, just moving to another desk in the same office. Then you have purge. Now, this is a big step up. This makes data recovery impossible, even with fancy lab equipment. This is what you absolutely need for sensitive information. And finally, you have the nuclear option, destroy. This is exactly what it sounds like. We're talking physically shredding, melting, or just completely disintegrating the drive. You use this for the highest risk data or for drives that are just plain old busted. But, and this is a huge but straight from the NIST guide, you have to be careful. That basic clear method, the simple overwriting, it's just not reliable on modern storage like solid-state drives or SSDs. The way SSDs work is really complex, and a simple overwrite can easily miss data ghosts that are tucked away in hidden parts of the drive. The big takeaway here: old tricks just don't work on new tech. Okay, so if just overwriting the data is out for modern drives, what's the effective, up-to-date solution? Well, this is where a really clever purge technique comes into play, and it's called cryptographic erase. And how this works is, honestly, it's kind of magic. Most modern devices, your smartphone, your laptop's SSD, they encrypt your data by default from day one. All that data is scrambled with a secret password, a kind of master key called the media encryption key. Now, cryptographic erase doesn't even bother trying to wipe the mountain of scrambled data. Instead, it just finds that one tiny little key and poof, it destroys it instantly. The data is still technically there, but without the key, it's just permanent, useless digital gibberish. It's like a library full of books written in a secret code, and you just burned the only decoder key. Now, for this amazing technique to work, there is one absolutely non-negotiable rule. The data has to have been encrypted from the very beginning. You can't just turn on encryption today and expect it to magically erase data that was saved before encryption was on. And, of course, you have to be 100% certain that you've destroyed every single copy of that encryption key. Okay, so we've got our methods: clear, purge, and destroy. We know about the techniques, but how do you know which one to use? When do you purge instead of clear? Well, NIST doesn't leave you guessing. They actually give you a playbook. And this is it. This is the official decision flowchart. It's basically a simple visual map that guides you to the right choice every single time. All you have to do is answer a few questions about what you're dealing with. And really, it all boils down to a few key questions. First, is the media going to be reused? If the answer is no, well, destroying it might just be the easiest and safest path. Next, how sensitive is the data on it? Is it low, moderate, or high risk? And finally, a big one. Is this device leaving your control? Are you selling it, donating it, recycling it? Your answers to these questions will point you straight to the right method: clear, purge, or destroy. Now, for any organization, there is one last, absolutely crucial step. You've got to document it. What you're seeing here is a sample certificate of sanitation right from the NIST guide. It's a formal record. It's proof that the job was done and done right. It says who did it, on what device, and which method they used. This isn't just about ticking a box. It's your verifiable proof that you were diligent and followed the rules. So what's the big takeaway here? In this digital world where it feels like nothing ever truly disappears, real deletion, it's not the default setting. It's an intentional act. It's an engineered process. By following these official guidelines, we actually have the power to make sure that when we decide something should be gone, it is truly gone for good. So the only real question left is, are you taking the right steps?